So I went down to Nashville, Tennessee a while back because that's where the music business is at. And so I went down there and I went to the Warner Record Music Business Company. And they got this big old fancy building in downtown Nashville. It's this big high rise skyscraper and stuff. And they got this, you go in the lobby and everything is glass and chrome gleaming, everything is super fancy and stuff. And I go in there and I go up to the receptionist and she was dressed up. She likes to play dress up, I guess. She's dressed up like a cop. And she had a badge and a name tag and a walkie-talkie. I mean, it was weird. But, she wanted to help me. I told her, I said, I'm here to sign a record contract. And then she just kind of gave me this dumbfounded look like she didn't know what to think. And then she told me that I was in the wrong place because she said they don't have nobody that has record contracts in that building. All them people do is work on computers and stuff. So she sent me to this other office that they got. She said, you've got to go to Music Row. I said, Music Row? Is that like a corn row? And she didn't have an answer. I don't know what she was thinking, but anyhow. So I went to this other place in Music Row, and they got a fancy building there too. It ain't no high rise, but it's nice, and everything. It says Warner Music Business Record Company on it or whatever. And I go up, they got these big fancy glass doors and stuff. And I go to open the door. You couldn't open the door. They had the door locked. And you got to press, they got this box next to the door. You got to press this box, press a button on it, and then you talk at the people inside. But the feller that was inside there, he was so eager, he come running out. He didn't even talk on the box. He come busting out the door to talk to me, and he was real interested in helping me. I could tell he takes it real serious because he sounded real serious about it. He said, can I help you? He was dressed up just like a cop, just like the woman was. I mean, they're really into dress up down there. And so I said, yeah, I'm here to sign a record contract. And he wanted to know, do I have an apartment? And I said, well, no, I live in a trailer. And then he just kind of stood there and looked at me for a long time like he was dumbfounded. He didn't know what I was talking about. And then he said, who are you here to see? And I said, well, I don't know. Who's got a record contract? Because, I come down here to sign a record contract. I got my pen ready. Where's the record contract at? And so I asked him, I said, you got a record contract? And he said, no, he don't have no record contract. I said, what do you do here? And that's when it got real weird because he started talking about this stuff they got called cigarette tea. But he said it funny, like cigarette tea. And he said that's what he does. And I said, I don't know about you should be doing drugs while you're on the job, buddy, but I mean, just whatever. And it was just, it was weird. But he was trying to be helpful, and he asked me, he said, who sent you down here? And I told him, I said, well, it was my friends back at home. They said, you got to go to Nashville and sign a record contract. So, here I am. And he just didn't know what to say about it. I mean, he just stood there kind of staring at me for a long time. I mean, at this point, I'm starting to get it, right? That like all these Warner Music record business people, they spend all day hanging around in the lobby, playing dress up like cops, getting hopped up on cigarette tea. It's no wonder the record music business is not doing so great these days. I mean, for crying out loud, what they need is less cigarette tea and more record contracts. For crying out loud, I don't know, man. But anyhow, he tried to help me out, and he told me that the way they do it now, see, because everything's all modern and right, and it's all on the interwebs. He said they've got an interweb page. You go to Warner Music on the interwebs, and you go to their interweb page, and he said they'll have a general inquiry thing on there that where I can introduce myself and get a record contract. And so I got a computer and got on the interweb, and sure enough, just like he said on their interweb page, there's a little thing up in the corner and it says contract. And I click on that and it takes you to this contract page, it says, and you put in your name and you put in your email, and there's a box for you to type in. I guess you type in the stuff about you and what your music is like, so they know what kind of contract to send to you. I guess they email you the contract now because everything's all electronic and stuff. And so I don't know. I'm waiting to hear from them. I mean, it's been a couple of weeks. They ain't sent me no record contract yet, but I mean, I guess they're still, trying to process or whatever. I'm sure they're going to send it to me any day now.